Professor M.K. Sundareswaran to begin the class. Welcome, sir.
Okay, let us start.
No much formality.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Good evening, everybody. So, we shall continue the remaining portion of the first chapter, first Ullasa. After finishing that, we will have a break for 5-10 minutes, and I will give an introduction, and I will be giving a design of this program. What are the portions I want to cover, what are the portions which we are going to discuss, that I will share with you. Then we will begin the second Ullasa. Now we will proceed with the remaining portion of the text. नियतिकृत नियमरहितां ह्लादैकमयीं अनन्य परतंत्रां नवरस रुचिरां निर्मितिं आदधति भारती कवय जयति. Now the text is visible, no? Okay. There is some sound coming. Somebody has unmuted mic. So, yesterday we stopped after discussing the Kavya Lakshana, Tadadoshav, Shabdarthau, Sagunau, Analankriti, Punah Kvapi. Mamata Bhatta says, Kavya is Shabda and Artha together, without doshas or sans doshas, and with gunas and alankaras. So gunau, salankarau, adoshau, shabdarthau, kavyam. Kvapi, kutrachit, analankriti api shabdarthau, kavyam. At times, even without alankara, kavya appears, excellent poetry appears. It is the absence of alankara does not degrade a poetry, a literary piece. For that particular part, he is giving an example. Pratikara is giving an example. He says, Kvachittu Sphutalankara virahe api na kavyatva hanihi. Sometimes, at times, in some occasions, the absence of alankara, Sphutalankara, does not harm the kavyatva. That means at times without Sphuta alankara, kavya just retains its excellence and acceptability. What is Sphuta alankara? Sphuta alankara means the figure of speech which supports and which becomes what do you call, which becomes a part, anga. There is that element, that component of poetry which takes the reader to the aesthetic experience, aesthetic rapture. It is said by Anandavardhana, Rupakadehe Alankara Vargasya Angatva Sadhanam. At the end of Alankara Samiksha, he says 6 conditions are there which should be satisfied for an Arthalankara to be meaningful or to be an Alankara. विवक्षा तत्परत्वेन नान्गित्वेन कदाचन काले च ग्रहणत्यागौ नाति निर्वहणैषिता निर्व्यूढावपि च अंगत्वे यत्नेन प्रत्यवेक्षणं रूपकादेः अलंकार वर्गस्य अंगत्व साधनम. So rasangatva is the sputatva meant here. Alankara should be very clear. It should be supportive. It should be conducive for rasa, for aesthetic experience. If such an alankara is absent, that is not a defect, that is not a blemish for Kavya. Even then, Kavya excels. For that, he gives an example. Yah kaumaraharaha sa eva hi varaha ta eva chaitrakshapaha te cha unmilita malati surabhayaha praudhaha kadamba anilaha sa chaivasmi tathapi तत्र सुरत व्यापार लीला विधौ रेवा रोधसी वेतसी तरुतले चेतः समुत्कंठते. It is an utterance of a lovelorn lady. Actually, she has been having amorous sports with her lover in a secret Sanketa Sthana on the banks of the river Reva, under the boughs, crane boughs. They have been meeting and having amorous sports, dallying, having happy times for a long time. Even then, she says her mind is perturbed, her mind is anxious, her mind is nervous. When she thinks of the meeting with him again. So, this is the verse, Yah Kaumaraharaha Saeva Hivaraha. He is the same familiar person who snatched away or deprived me of my maidenhood. Kaumaraharaha Saeva Hivaraha, whose union I yearn for. Vara means desired person, desired object, which is liked, which is chosen. So this particular person, the union with whom I yearn for, we have been having sports in that particular spot for a long time, from my maidenhood itself. Actually, he has grabbed away, deprived me of my maidenhood. So he is very familiar. And ta eva chaitra kshapaha. Ksapa means night. Chaitra, the first month of spring season. Vasanta Ritu. Chaitra. So chaitra kshapaha means beautiful nights, lovely nights of the spring season. Ta eva chaitra kshapaha, the very same lovely nights of spring season. So the time is also very familiar. Techa unmilita malati surabhayaha praudhaha kadambanilaha. The wind, it is also very familiar. The wind blowing there. It is praudha. Sometimes it comes as a gentle breeze. Sometimes, at times, it blows heavily. Always making us happy. Praudhaha kadamba nilaha. From the kadamba grows, this wind comes, wind blows, and the winds are laden with the fragrance of full-blown malati flowers. Techa unmilita malati surabhayaha praudhaha kadamba nilaha. So the winds are also very familiar. Sacha eva asmi. Ahamapi sacha eva asmi. I am also the very same person. He is also the very same person. So everything is familiar. Tathapi, even then, tatra reva rodhasi. On the banks of the river Reva, vetasi tarutale, in the boughs, crane boughs under the trees. Surata Vyapara Leela Vidhau. In the Amara sports, my mind Chetaha Samutkanthate is agitated, it is anxious, it is nervous. So, when the situation is very familiar, when the person is very familiar, there is no cause for anxiety and nervousness. But my mind, the beauty is that she says not that I am anxious, I am nervous, but my mind is anxious and my mind is nervous. The agency is given to mind, not to the person. So that shows the intensity of the anxiety and nervousness. Now, this verse is an excellent kavya in which Shringara Rasa, the erotic sentiment, flourishes, shines well. But there is no a sputa alankara, there is no a clear alankara. Rasanga alankara is not there. Atra sputo na kaschit alankara. Somebody may ask, see here, Shringar Rasa is there, erotic sentiment is there. So Rasavadalankara is there. So Alankara, how can you say that Alankara is not there? Absence of Alankara, how can you say? It is a case of Rasavadalankara. There, Mamata says, Rasasya hi pradhanyat na alankarata. In the old school of Alankara, it was held that the presence of mere presence of rasa or bhava, etc., rasa, bhava, adi, it's a case of alankara. But Anandavardhana has specifically said that mere presence of rasa, etc., rasa, bhava, etc., is not a case of alankara. वाच्यवाचक चारुत्व हेतूनां विविधात्मनां रसाधिपरता यत्र प्रधानेन्यत्र वाक्यार्थेऽन्तर अंगं तु रसादयः वाक्ये तस्मिन् अलङ्कारो रसादिरिति मे पतिः. When the rasa is more important in charming than all other things, it assumes the supreme importance with reference to the element of charm, then it is not an alankara. It is alankariya. It is dhvani. Pradhan vachyavachakatarutva hetuvanam vidhatmanam dasadi bharatayatra swadhvaner vishayo mataha. And when rasa is subordinate to some other vakyartha, some other element, some other component, then it is alankara, rasadya alankara. Pradhane anyatra vakyarthe yatra angam tu rasadayah kavye tasmin alankaro rasadiriti mematihi. Here in this verse, Shringar rasa is there, but it assumes supreme importance because it is the center of excellence, center of origination of charm. How can you say that this element is pradhana and this element is subordinate, this is main, this is subordinate? How can you specify? There Anandavardhana has clearly said charutvokarsha nibandhanahi vachyavyangyoho pradhanya vivaksha. Charutvokarsha is the deciding factor. Where there is charutvokarsha, it is pradhana. Charutvokarsha means being the center of charm generation. Charutva utkarsha nibandhanahi vachyavyangyoho pradhanya vivaksha. So here the Shringara rasa assumes supreme importance, so it is a case of dhvani, not a rasavadalankara. Again, one may ask, see, repetition of the syllable ra is there, kaumara haraha, sayevahi varaha, ta eva chaitra kshapaha, tejonmilita malati surabhayaha. प्रौढ़ाः सुरत व्यापार लीला विधो रेवा रोधसे वेतसी तरुतले चेतस समुत्कंठते. So this is a case of anuprasa. So anuprasa alankara is there. How can I say that there is no sputa alankara? Then the answer is that alankara is there, but it is not sputa. The anuprasa here, made by the repetition of the harsh syllable, harsh sounding syllable, repha, it actually goes against the sentiment of Shringara, erotic sentiment. So it doesn't support. It is not an anga of Shringar Rasa. So it is, Sputatva is not there. And similar is the case with the Arthalankaras, figures of speech, Vibhavana and Visheshokti. Visheshokti, Akhandeshu Karaneshu Phala Avachaha. When all the causes are present in their entirety, in their fullness, when the effect is not there, not described, Visheshokti Akhandeshu Karaneshu Phalavachaha, then it's a case of Visheshokti. Now, here all the causes for the absence of anxiety is there. Familiarity. The person is familiar, the place is familiar, the act is familiar, the time is familiar, everything is familiar. So, no cause for anxiety at all. So, absence of anxiety should be there as the effect. But absence of anxiety is not said. It is the presence of anxiety. So Visheshakti is there. Akhandeshu Karaneshu Phala Avachaha. But the question is that Visheshakti is there. You are saying Sputalankara is not there. Then answer is that again Sputatva is not there because it is not explicit. It is implied. The Visheshakti is implied. Similar is the case with Vibhavana. Vibhavana. When all the causes are there, Visheshoktar Akhandeshu Karaneshu Phalavachaha, Visheshokti Akhandeshu Karaneshu Phalavachaha, Bhavana. It is a contrary case where the causes are, the absence of causes are not there, but the effect is there. See here, the effect, anxiety or nervousness is there, but cause is not there. Unfamiliarity is the cause. That cause is not there. So one can say that here there is a case of, this is case of Vibhavana. Again, that Vibhavana is also not sputa because it is not explicit, it is only implied. So there is no sputalankara. Even then, this is a case of excellent poetry. Now, Mamada proceeds to classify poetry into three. And this classification is based on the presence and the importance of suggested meaning, Vyangyartha. Mamada, in accordance with Anandavardhana's position, divides poetry into three, broadly three, as Uttama, Madhyama and Adhama. Dhvani Kavya, Gunibhuta Vyangya Kavya and Chitra Kavya. And Anandavardhana says, Pradhana Guna Bhavabhyam Vyangyasya evam vyavasthite kavye ubhe tatonyat yat tat chitram abhidhiyate. He says, when the suggested meanings assumes importance, it is dhvani, the kavya is dhvani. When it is gunibhuta, it is subordinated, then the kavya is madhyama kavya, gunibhuta vyangya kavya, gunibhuta vyangya kavya. The vyangya is gunibhuta. Actually, it is aguna, it is pradhana, always. Vyangya means it is pradhana, but here, in this particular case, it is subordinated to something else. So, gunibhuta, it has been forcibly subordinated. Gunibhuta, vyangya is subordinated, such a kavya is gunibhuta vyangya kavya, it is madhyama kavya. And where there is no clear presence of suggested meaning, there is the absence of spruta vyangya, then the kavya is in the lowest level. It is an inferior kavya. Andardhana does not call it as kavya as such. He calls it as chitra. Tatonyat yat tat chitram abhidhiyate. So, following the lines of Anandavardhana, Mamata also has this gradation. Some kavya, some poetry, some are excellent, the best, and some are mediocre, and some are in the lowest level, inferior kavyas. Tadbhedan kramena aha. That is the introductory statement. Tadbhedan kavya bhedan. Idam uttamam atishayini vyangye vachyat dhvanihi budhaihi kathitaha. Idam uttamam atishayini vyangye vachyat dhvanihi budhaihi kathitaha. Now this sentence can be split into three as idam uttamam. Adishayini vyangye vachyat idam uttamam dhvanihi buddhaihi kathitaha. Idam uttamam. That is the first statement. Adishayini vyangye vachyat dhvanihi, or idam uttamam adishayini vyangye vachyat. First part. Second part dhvani. Third part buddhaihi kathitaha. So idam uttamam means this kavya is at its best. So, or the first classification, the first kind of poetry, which is the best, that is idam uttamam. Adishayini vyangye vachyat, which is this best poetry? Vyangye vachyat atishayini sati. When the suggested meaning outshines the expressed meaning. Vachyat arthat vyangye arthe atishayini sati. When the vyangya dominates vachya with reference to charm. Vachyat vyangye atishayini sati. When the vyangya dominates vachya with reference to charm, then this is the best kavya. That is the first part, dhvanihi. And this, the second part of dhvanihi, this kind of poetry is called dhvani. The best poetry is called dhvani. And the third part, buddhai kathita. This designation, dhvani, has come from learned people. They say, buddhaihi kathitaha, scholars say. So there are three parts. So best poetry is in which the vyangya dominates vachya with reference to charm, and it is called dhvani. And this designation has come from learned people. Idam iti kavyam. Buddhaihi vayakaranaihi pradhanabhuta sphotarupa vyangya vyanjakasya shabdasya dhvaniriti vyavaharaha kritaha. So, where does this designation come from? From learned people, wise people, Who are the wise people, scholarly people, learned people? They are grammarians. As Anandavardhana said, Prathamehi Vidvamso Vayyakaranaha. Buddhaihi Vayyakaranahi. What do they say? They call Shabda as Dhvani. Shabdasya Dhvanihi iti vyavaharaha krataha. The grammarians or Bhartrhari, the who propounded the theory of Sphota, he calls Shabda as Dhvani. Which Shabda? Sphota Rupa Vyangya Vyanjakasya Shabdasya. The Shabda, ordinary words, which suggest the eternal word, that is Sphota. Sphota is Nitya Shabda. And from Sphota, the Artha is got. So, Sphota is Vyangya and Shabda is Vyanjaka. And the Shabda is called the Vyanjaka Shabda, which suggests Sphota. It is called Dhvani by grammarians, by Bhartrhari. Pradhana Bhuta Sphota Rupa Vyangya Vyanjakasya Shabdasya Dhvanihi iti vyavaharaha kritaha. Ataha, therefore, Tanmatanusaribhihi, scholars or literary theorists who follow them, Tanmatanusaribhihi Annerapi Asmabhirapi. Annehi nama Asmabhihi. We follow the great grammarians, the learned scholars, and taking cue from them, from Bhartrhari, they are calling Shabda as Dhani, we call Shabdartha Yugalasya Vyavaharaha Kritaha. As Anyairapi Shabdartha Yugalasya Dhanihi iti Vyavaharaha Kritaha. We call the Shabda and Artha together. The what you call Yugala, it is twin. A set having two members, Shabda and Artha. Shabdartha Yugalasya Dhvanihi iti vyavaharaha kritaha. And what is the nature of that Shabdartha Yugala? It carries out two functions. Nyag bhavita vachya Vyangya Vyanjana Kshamasya. Nyag bhavanam is an action. Nyag bhavanam subordination. Subordination of what? Vachya. The expressed meaning is subordinated by what? By this Shabdartha Yugala. And the another function is Vyangya Vyanjana Kshamasya. It is capable of suggesting the Vyangya. Vyangya Vyanjana Kshamasya. So here the Vyanjana Vyapara is, the nature of Vyanjana Vyapara is implied. Shabda is Vyanjaka, Artha is Vyanjaka, and Shabda is called Dhvani, Artha is called Dhvani, and Shabda and Artha together they are called Dhvani. And all these things are implied here. And in the Dhvani Kavya, the Vachyartha is subordinated. Which element, which part vehemently is opposed by Mahima Bhatta. So, Tanmatanusaribhihi Anyairapi Nyagbhavita Vachya. Vachya is Nyagbhavita. It is forcibly subordinated. Nyagbhuta, subordinate. Nyagbhavita, subordinated. So, the great grammarians call the Vyanjaka Shabda, which suggests the Vyangya Sphota, as Dhvani. And we, poeticians or literary theorists, we call, taking cue from them, that term is borrowed from them. The term of Dhvani is borrowed from them, and we call the set having two members, Shabdartha Yugala, Shabda and Artha together, we call Dhvani. So, the first part is in the statement is idam vachyati vyangya atishayini sati idam uttamam. Second part is Dhvani. And third part is buddhai kathitaha it has been explained. Now, an example, illustrative example is given. It has been taken from Amaruka Shataka. Nisheshachuta Chandanam Stanatatam Nirmrishtaragodharaha Netre Duramananjane Pulakita Tanvi Taveyam Tanuhu Mithyavadini Duti Bandhavajanasya Ajnata Pidagame Vapim Snatum Ito Gatasi Napunaha Tasyathamasya Antikam. Atra तदंतिकमेव रंतुम गतासी इति प्राधान्येन अधमपदेन व्यज्यते. So this is a case of dhvani. It means that Vyangyartha is there and it governs charm. It is more dominating. It is dominating the Vachyartha in generating charm. So what is a Vyangyartha? What is a Vachya? Now, this is an utterance of a lover lady to her friend or servant, a messenger. This messenger was sent to the lover, often sent to the lover with messages, and she had happy times with the messenger, dining with him, and when she returned, the Naika, the lover lady, says to her, Vapin snatu mito gatasi, napanas pasyathamas yantikam. You didn't go to him. I sent you to that person and you didn't go to him. You went from here to Vapi. It is a pond. Like a Gyan Vapi, which was notorious or famous Vapi, having so many steps, deep pond-like thing, where in the steps people can sit and it will be secluded. Vapim snatum itogatasi. You went for taking bath in the Vapi. You didn't go to him. I sent you to that person. That wretched fellow, tasya adhamasya antikam, that mean wretched fellow. How can I say this? Your appearance betrays this. Nisheshachyuta chandanam stanatatam, the forefront of your breast, the sandal paste which was there previously has been wiped off in the forefront part of your breast. Nirmarishtaragaha adharaha. In your lower lip only, the hue is wiped off, completely wiped off. Netre dura mananjane. Only in the far ends of in the corners of your eyes, the collyrium has been removed. Tulakita tanvi taveyam tanuhu. Your slender body is quivering with hairs on end, with horripilation. Mithyavadini, you are telling lies. Duti, bandhavajanasya ajnata pidagame. You don't recognize, you don't understand the agony of your relative, your friend, that is me, who is afflicted by pains, who is grief-stricken. Ajnata pidagame, bandhavajanasya ajnata pidagame. So this is utterance. The expressed meaning is that you didn't go to him. You went to the Vapi for taking bath. But the suggested meaning, how do we get? For understanding or getting the suggested meaning, for the formation of the suggested meaning, two things are very much essential. One is the reader should be having pratibha. It is very much essential. Pratibha jusham. In the Mamada himself says, Prastava Deshakalader Vaishishtiyat Pratibha jusham. Yorthasya anyarthadhi hetur vyaparo vyaktirevasa. So, the pratibha on the part of Sahardaya is very much essential. Like that, the understanding of the context, prakarana, it is also very much essential. This messenger lady, the reader knows that the Sahardaya knows that the prakarana, she is a sportive lady, and she often she is having this tendency to have amorous acts. So that knowledge is very much essential. The context knowledge is very much essential. Then the suggested meaning is that tasya adhamasya antigameva rentum gata. It is just opposite to the Vachyartha. In the express meaning, it is said that you didn't go to him. In the suggested meaning, you went to him only and you had happy times with him. Tadantikameva rantum gata. And how does we get this meaning? The main Vyanjaka, the main element, main component which suggests is this particular word adhama. Pradhanyena adhama padena vyajyate. So here this Vyangyartha suggested meaning is having more charm, is generating more charm than Vachyartha. So this is case of Dhani Kavya, best Kavya. Atadrishi Gunibhuta Vyangyam Vyangyetu Madhyamam. This is the second case. Atadrishi Gunibhuta Vyangyam Vyangyetu Madhyamam. Idam Madhyamam Kavyam. Kim tate? Vyangye Gunibhuta Vyangyam Madhyamam Kavyam. Gunibhuta Vyangyam Madhyamam Kavyam. Gunibhuta Vyangya, a poetry in which Vyangya is Gunibhuta. It is subordinated. Actually, it is aguna, it is pradhana, but it is main, and now it has been subordinated. Gunibhuta Vyangya. So, a kavya in which Vyangya is subordinated. Vyangya is there, but Vachya is more charming than Vyangya. So, Vyangya is Gunibhuta. Such a poem is Madhyama Kavya. So, how does he define Gunibhuta Vyangya? Atadrishi Vyangye. Atadrishi Vyangye Atadrishi Sati. Atadrishi, it is a locative case. Vyangye Atadrishi Sati. Tadrit means of that kind, of the kind which has been said earlier. Atadrishi means not of that kind. Of that kind, what is it which referred to here? Vyangye Atishayini is referred to as Tadrik. So Atadrishi Vyangye Atishayini, when the Vyangyartha is dominating, that is the state of Vyangya in the Dhani Kavya. Here, in the Madhyama Kavya, the Vyangya is not of that kind. So, it is not dominating the Vachyartha, which means it may be at an equal level, on par with Vachyartha as the generator, origination of charm, and it may be, in a lower level than Vachyartha. So, Atadrishi means not of that kind, which means the Vyangya is not dominating. So, Vachya is dominating, or Vachya is on equal ranks with Vyangya. Atadrishi Vyangye, Vyangye Atadrishi Sati. Atadrik, Atadrishi, Atadrimshi. Tadrik, Tadrishi, Tadrimshi. This is the seventh case. Vyangye Atadrishi Sati. Gunibhuta Vyangyam. And this poem is Madhyama, mediocre. Atadrishi Vachyat Anatishayini. Yatha Gramatarunam Tarunyam Navapanjula Manjali Sanathakaram Pasyantyaha Bhavati Muhu. Nitaram Malina Mukhachaya. Lover has come with a bunch of flowers in his hand. Nava Manjula Manjari Sanatha Karam. Bunch of flowers in his hand. It is fresh. Gramatarunam, the village man, the local man, or the man around in the place. Pasyantyaha, he has come, and his lover, young lady, she sees him, and Tarunyaha Mukhachaya Nitaram Muhuhu Malina Bhavati. Her brightness of face, it fades away. Nitaram Malina Mukhachaya, very much fades. So, this is the expression. That fellow has come with a fresh bunch of flowers, and this damsel sees him. At his side, her brightness of face fades away. So, this is the expressed meaning. What is the suggested meaning? Atra Vanjulalata Grihe Dutta Sanketa Nagata. He has intentionally, deliberately plucked a bunch of flowers from the groves and taken it to show it to her, to convey to her the fact that you have not come. Actually, we both meet, that is a condition made together. You were to come there, but you didn't come in the Rangdabu, in the Sanketa Sthana. So, that is expressive. For that only he has deliberately brought this bunch of flowers. So, what is the suggested meaning? Datta Sanketa Tvam Nagata, Vanjula Lata Grihe Nagata. In the Vanjula Lata Griha, in the boughs, you didn't come, so I have brought the fresh boughs from there. This Vyangya, though it is there, it is not charming as the expression Nitaram Malina Mukhachaya. So the Vachyartha, the expressed meaning, the expression is dominating in charm the Vyangyartha suggested sense. So this is a case of Muni Bhuta Vyangya. Shabda Chitram, Vachya Chitram, Abhyangyam to Avaram Smritam. Abhyangyam. Sputa Pratiyamanartha Rahitam. Not the total absence of suggested sense, but it is not what you call bright, it is not clear, it is not shining, it is not explicit, very explicit. So it is very vague. It's sleeping, as if it was sleeping. So Abhyangya, that such a poetry in which Vyangya does not flourish, does not shine. Such a case of kavya, such a case of poetry is called chitra. And it has got two kinds, Shabda Chitra and Vachya Chitra. It is a fancy, you can say, fancy caused by the combination of Shabda and caused by the description of Artha, Vachya. So it has got two kinds, Shabda Chitra and Vachya Chitra, and it is Avara, the lowest level of poetry. Chitramiti Gunalankara Yuktam. Gunas and Alankaras will be there, but Sphuta Pradiyamana will not be there. Sphuta Pradiyamana Artharahitam Avaram Adhamam Yatha. He has given two examples also. The first one is the case of Shabda Chitra. Swachhandochala Dacha Kacha Kohara Chatetara Ambuchata Murchanmoha Maharishi Harisha Vihita Snana Anhika. That's a single word. Swachandochala dacha kacha kohara chatetara ambuchata murchan moha maharushi harusha vihita snananhika annhaya vaha vidyat udyadudara dardura dari दीर्घ आदरिद्र द्रुमद्रोहोद्रेक महोर्मि मेदुर मदा मंदाकिनी मंदता. Here there is no vyangya, there is no spurt of vyangya. There is a shabdalankara is there. Some syllables are repeated. And what is the meaning? The main sentence is mandakini vaha mandatam vidyat. Mandakini vaha mandatam vidyat. May the river Ganges, Ganga, shatter your sluggishness, lethargy, your dullness. That is the main sentence. Now, Dirghadaridra Drumadrohodreka Mahormi Meduramada, Udyadudara Darduradari, Swachando Chalagachagohara Chate, the Rambuchapa Mochan Maharisha, Moha Maharishi Harisha Vihitasnana Higa. All these are adjectives to Mandakini. And Anhaya is adverb. At once, immediately. That is the meaning. Anhaya vaha mandatam vidyat. And what is the meaning? This Mandakini is vihita snananhika. Sages, Maharishis, sages have performed both snana and anhika in the waters of her. Harisha vihita snananhika. Vihitam snanam anhikam cha Maharishibhihi harishena vihitam snanam anhikam cha yasyam sa Maharishi harisha vihita snananhika. And those sages, their moha, their ignorance has been removed, wiped off by this Mandakini, by the waters of this Mandakini. Ambuchata murchan moha Maharishi. Ambuchata murchan moha Maharishi. Ambuchata, flow of waters, stream of waters. That Ambuchata is swachando chaladat. It is freely gushing out. Acha, it is limpid, very clear. Kacha kohara chatetara ambu. Chatetara means it is forcible, it is in large quantities, it is not slender. The waters, they are not, stream is not slender. Chatetara. And so, by this kind of waters, the moha, the ignorance of the Maharishis who have a dip in the waters of Mandakini, their moha has been murchat, it has been removed. So, and such a Mandakini, vaha mandatam vidyat. Again, udyadudara dardura dari. Dardura means frog, dara means dara or dari is cave, udara means lustrous. These frogs are lustrous and they are in the daris, in the caves, and so such a Mandakini. And Dirgha Adaridra Drumadrohodreka Mahormi Medura Mada. This Mandakini is having Medura Mada. She is very much haughty. Haughty by Mahormi Medura Mada, by huge waves, big waves. These waves have uprooted tall and big trees. Dirgha Adaridra Druma Droha. Tena Udreka. Udreka means this haughtiness is amplified. It is increased, enhanced. So such Mandakini, may it shatter your sluggishness, your lethargy. There is a sentence here, no suggested sense is there, and Shabdalankara is there. This one, Anuprasadankara is there. So it's a case of Shabda Chitra, and this is next one is the case of Udaharana for Artha Chitra. Vinargatam manadam atmanandirat bhavatyupashrutya yadruchayapiyam sasambhrama indra druta patitargala Nimilitaksheva Bhiyamaravati. Here there is an alankara, arthalankara, figure of speech. There is no suggested sense, clear suggested sense. Sthuta Vyangya. What is the purport? Amaravati Bhiya Nimilitakshi Iva Sthita. The city, Amaravati, the city of Indra, Amaravati, is likened to a lady with closed eyes. Bhiya Nimilitakshi Iva Sthita. What is the context? Indra, somebody said that this Hayagriva has gone out of his house, his court, palace. He has gone out. Atmamundirat vinirgatam manadam yam upashrutya. It's a hearsay. Even Indra at once, without thinking about the veracity of the statement, immediately he jumped up and he bolted, locked the bolt on the gate. Druta Sasambhrama Indra Druta Patitargala. Indra was agitated, Sasambhrama Indra, and he made the bolt fall on the gate. Druta Patitargala. So the gate was locked, the bolt was locked. So with the locked bolt, with the gate having locked bolt, the city looks like a lady with closed eyes. So it's a case of preksha. Amaravati Bhiya Nimilitakshi Iva Atmamandirat Yadirchayapi Vinirgatam Anadam Yam Upashrutya Amaravati Sasambram Indradruta Patitargala Amaravati Nimilitakshi Iva Bhavati Saha. So this is a case of Artha Chitra. It is Chitrakavya. Figure of speech is there. So Arthalankara is there. So Artha Chitra it is. Now we have come to the end of first Ullasa. Now I will stop for 5 minutes. I have taken 1 hour. Okay. Now participants can intervene. Suggestions, comments, they can air their opinion, ask questions for 5 minutes. Naresh, please. Come on. Naresh Kirti, you raised hand. Naresh? Anything? Anybody else?
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, I had some problem with my mic. My question is, so this classification of Uttama, Madhyama, Adhama, surely Adhama doesn't mean bad poetry. It only means in comparison to Uttama and Madhyama, it is relatively inferior, isn't it? Because this verse we just saw, this is a good poem. I feel this Nimi,
Nirgata
Akshiva,
Mandaravati.
yeah, Amaravati. It may not have funny in it, but should we not still say that it is not? Should we have a more subtle understanding of Adhama, Uttama, Madhyama, Adhama?
Yes, you are right. But Anandardhana calls Chitra as Chitra only, not even Chitra Kavya. And Mahimabhatta says Avara. But all these preceptors, acharyas or great preceptors, writers, shastrajnas, they hold the opinion that Sahridaya is the final authority. So, if you say that it's a good poetry, you cannot call it as bad poetry. Yes, you are right, and they will agree. Mamata and Anandavardhana, they will agree. I too feel that this is a good poetry only, but as you said, with respect to Gunibhota Vyangya and Dhvani Kavya, it is in a lower level, that's all. It is not as charming as Dhvani Kavya and Gunibhota Vyangya Kavya. But it is approved and recognized and what do you call, relished by Sahardayas. Would
Thanks.
it be ordering and not ranking? Ranking also is there, not ordering. First level, second level, third level, like that. Mamada doesn't say. He says this is the best, Uttamam, and Madhyama, and Adhama. Even he calls the Avara as Adhama. So ranking is there. No, yes, ranking is there, not mere ordering. Okay, any other question? Gayatri Arun, please. You can ask, you can write in the chat box or express yourself. Gayatri?
You should probably unmute yourself.
No, she is not writing in the chat box as well. What is the definition of this one, Vibhavana, which I couldn't remember. विशेषोक्त रखनेन्द्रेषु कर्मेषु फलावतः क्रियायाः प्रतिषेधेऽपि फलव्यक्तिर्विभावना. क्रियायाः प्रतिषेधेऽपि फलव्यक्तिर्विभावना. That's the definition given by Mamada himself for Vibhavana. When Kriya, all the causes are there, absence, negation of all the causes is there. The Phalavyakti, the description of prayojana or effect is Vibhavana. Gayatri, she is unable to express her. You can put in, write in chat box, afterwards we will discuss whatever you want to ask or want to comment, please. Now, shall we proceed? Yes, importance of Vachya Chitra. Yes, Vachya Chitra is graded as a better kavya, on a better rank by than Shabda Chitra by Rasagangadharakarya. Vachya Chitra is a good poem, good piece of literary piece. It is relished, it is beautiful, but Mamata says both the Vachya Chitra and the Shabda Chitra, they are Abhyangya without suggested senses, so they are Avara. Okay. Now, Out of 10 hours, we have already taken 3 hours. Actually, today I wanted to discuss this Jatyadar Jatireva Va. Up to that, I wanted to cover. Let us see. Now, anything? No. In the 10 chapters, altogether 143 karikas or 142 karikas are there. In the first, the chapters are called Ullasa, a flash of light. And the first Ullasa, as we have seen, the nature, cause and benefits of poetry and the classification of poetry is enunciated, described. In the second and third Ullasas, the different kinds of shabdas, arthas and the shabda vyaparas and artha vyapara, they are discussed, classified, explained. In the fourth Ullasa, Dhvani Kavya, the best Kavya, the different kinds of Dhvani Kavya, they are exposed, they are explained, they are classified and illustrated. In the fifth Ullasa, Gunibhuta Vyangya Kavya, eight kinds of Gunibhuta Vyangya Kavya, broad division of Gunibhuta Vyangya into the mediocre Kavya into 8. They are described with illustration, illustrative examples, and Vyanjana Sthapana is also done. The justification of the function of suggestive function. And the 6th chapter is a small one, dealing with the Chitra Kavya. 7th Ullasa, 7th chapter is a big one, dealing with the blemishes, Kavya Doshas. 8th deals with the Kavya Gunas. 9th with the Shabdalankara, and the 10th is a long, big chapter. It deals with the Arthalankara. Now, why does Mammada devote 2 chapters on Shabda Vyaparas? Shabda Artha Nirupana, Artha Nirupana, and Shabda Artha Vyaparas. We know that Mammada has written a small work called Shabda Vyapara Vichara, running into 10 pages or so, dealing exclusively with the Shabda Vyaparas, Abhidha, Lakshana and Vyanjana. So Shabda Vyapara Vichara is the name of the work. Some people hold that in order to show his mastery over Shabda and Artha and Shabda Vyapara, Lakshana, etc., he has spent 2 chapters for describing this. Actually, it is not that important. The Shabda Vyaparas, the classification of Lakshana into 6 kinds and 3 kinds, all these are not important with respect to the main content of the text. Some people hold such an opinion. But it is clearly justified because Anandavardhana says that Vyangya Pradhanye Dhvanihi Vachyavyatiriktasya Arthasya Vachyavachakabhyam Tatparyena Prakasanam Yatra Vyangya Pradhanye Sa Dhvanihi. He has just echoed this sentence. Mammada is echoing this sentence in his Lakshana. Vachyat Vyangya Atishayini Sati Dhvanihi Uttamam, etc. So, the Vyangyartha should be predominant. Then the case is a Dhvani of a Dhvani Kavya. That is what Anandavardhana says. Vyangyartha should be predominant. Vachyart Vyatiriktasya Vachyavachakabhyam Tatparyena Prakasanam. Tatparyena Prakasanam. So the Vyangyartha should be predominant. Then it's a case of Dhvani Kavya. But Anandavardhana, in his text having 4 chapters, he doesn't define or describe or illustrate the suggestive function. He says that Vyanjana, all the Shastrakaras or grammarians, Nayayikas, Mimamsakas, they should accept the Vyanjana Vyapara. But what is Vyanjana? What is Vyanjakatva? It is not described. Only a casual reference we get. Sarupam prakashayanneva padarthavabhasakaha Vyanjakaha. That is the only statement we get in the text of Dhvanyaloka. What is Vyanjana when you ask? Swarupam prakashayanneva parartha avabhasakaha Vyanjakaha. Vyanjaka is that which illuminates some other thing along with its own illumination. So, it is not like a karya-karana bhava, simultaneous, instantaneous illumination of the Vyangyartha. When the Vyanjaka is illuminated, along with it, Vyangya is also illuminated. So, Sahabhava is focused, stressed upon. Surupam prakashayanneva parartha avabhasakaha Vyanjaka. Here, it looks like a whole paradigm shift. Yes, unthinkable to it. Okay. Is it possible without Alankara? Yes, we will discuss. Satyavarta, he has written something in the chat box. We will discuss. So, Mammata wants to do that. The explanation of as to the nature and classification and different kinds of the functions of suggestion. Anandavarthana, he has done one thing. In the first Udyota, he speaks not directly, but he speaks of Lakshana Mula Vyanjana. When he says, Mukhyamurtim Parityajya Gunavritya Arthadarshanam Yaduddishya Phalam Tatra Shabdo Naiva Sthaladgatihi. He is describing the Lakshana Mula Vyanjana. Suggestion with indication. Lakshana Mula Vyanjana, suggestion based on indication or suggestion with indication. Indication I mean by the term Lakshana, I mean by the term indication. And Mukhyamurtim Parityajya, the same idea has been expressed by Mammata in Yasya Pratiti Madhatum Vyanjana Samupasyate Phale Shabdaika Gamyetra Vyanjana Napara Kriya. We have seen that Mammata stressed upon these two functions. Nyakbhavita Vyangya Vyanjaka, Nyakbhavita Vachya Vyangya Vyanjana Shamasya Shabdartha Yugalasya. So, Shabda is Vyanjaka, Artha is Vyanjaka, and the subordination is also is a function of Vyanjana. That is what is implied by Mammata. So, Mammata wants to explain all these things. Vyanjana is of Shabdartha Yugala. When he says Shabdartha Yugalasya, Shabda is also Vyanjaka, Artha is also Vyanjaka. This suggestive function, both Shabda is having that function and Artha is having that function, not Shabda alone. So Artha is also Vyanjaka, Shabda is also Vyanjaka, and sometimes we get Vyanjana suggestion along with this indication, Lakshana. All this he wants to clarify and classify. Not only that, immediately before Mammata, Mukla Bhatta's Abhidhamrita Matrika has come. In Abhidhamrita Matrika, Mukla Bhatta, what does he do? He also classifies the Lakshana into 6 kinds, and he says that Abhidha is the only function. Abhidha is the only function of 4. Abhidha is of 10 kinds. 4 are Abhidha and 6 are Lakshana. The Lakshana is only a subclass of Abhidha. So, Vyanjana is refuted. So, in order to establish Vyanjana Vyapara, which he does in the 5th Ullasa, in the last portion of 5th Ullasa, Vyanjana Sthavana, is making a ground here. And not only that, he wants to refute some stands held by Mukala Bhatta with respect to Lakshana. And the classification of Lakshana into 6 kinds of this classification, mainly broadly divided by into 2 as Shuddha and Gauni, based on the association. If the association is based on similarities, it is Gauni, and if it is not similarity, is Shuddha. Then again, Upadana Lakshana, Lakshana Lakshana, inclusive Lakshana, and dedicating Lakshana. That is how I call this Upadana Lakshana and Lakshana Lakshana. Inclusive Lakshana and dedicating this. In the case of Lakshana Lakshana, the Vachartha is dedicating itself for some other meaning. Lakshana Lakshana. And again, dividing this Shuddha and Gauni into 2 again, based on superimposition or identification. Saropa and Sadhyavasana, Lakshana, Tena, Shadvidha. Again, this sixfold division, actually it hasn't got anything to do with the remaining portion of the text. Even then, for Shastra Purti, it is done. When he deals with the Shabda Vyaparas and Artha Vyaparas, he has to deal with all the opinions and theories put forth by the contemporaries as well as earlier preceptors. That is why he has dedicated 2 chapters for Shabda Vyapara and Artha Vyapara, Shabdi Vyanjana, Arthi Vyanjana, and Lakshana. So it is 8:13. Now, what does Satyavasa say? It looks like a whole paradigm shift, unthinkable to the classical theorists. Kavya is not just possible without Alankara, but also lower grade when it employs Alankara. Yes, I do agree. Now we shall proceed to reading the text, second Ullasa. Any comment, any doubt, any question, even comments, suggestions on what I said now as an introduction to the second Ullasa? Anything? Anybody? Okay. द्वितीयः उल्लासः स्याद्वाच क्रमेण शब्दार्थयोः स्वरूपमाह. Now शब्दार्थौ काव्यम, that is a statement. So now this description of nature of shabda and artha is very much essential. So the author classifies shabda and artha into 2 kinds. Syad vachako lakshanikah shabdotra vyanjaka stridha. In Kavya, there are 3 kinds of shabdas: vachaka, lakshanika, and vyanjaka. Vachyadayah tadarthaah syuh. Respectively, vachya, lakshya, vyangya are the meanings given by vachaka, lakshanika, shabdaka, vyanjaka shabdas. And immediately he says, Tattaryarthopi keshuchit. There is a 4th artha which is different from vachya, lakshya, and vyangya. Tattaryartha. Just a minute. What is this Tatparyartha? Here, the Abhihitanvayavada and Anvitabhidhanavada, these are two theories put forth by Mimamsakas, Prabhakaras and Bhatta Mimamsakas regarding verbal cognition, regarding the cognition of a sentence meaning. These Prabhakaras, they hold that sentence meaning is entirely different from word meaning. From Vachaka, Abhidha or Lakshana or Vyanjana, you get the meaning, or from Abhidha and Lakshana, you get the meanings of words, and afterwards, you get the sentence meaning by construing them together. So, they hold the opinion that Abhihitanam padarthanam anvayam vadanti iti abhihitanvayavadinaha. The word meanings which have been given by respective functions, they are construed, they are related together to get the sentence meaning. And here they go along with the Nayayikas in saying that the immediate cause for verbal cognition of a sentence meaning is the knowledge of Akanksha, Yogyata, Sannidhi and Tatparya. That is what Nayayikas hold. Asattari, Yogyata, Tatparya, Jnana Mishyate, Karanam, Sannidhanetu. Asattari, Yogyata, Tatparya, Jnana. Akanksha, Asattari, Yogyata, Akanksha, Tatparya, Jnana Mishyate, Karanam. Shabda Bodhe, Asattari, Yogyata, Akanksha, Tatparya, Jnana. Akanksha, Asatti Jnanam, Yogyata Jnanam, Akanksha Jnanam, Tatparya Jnanam. This is very much essential. Without Akanksha, Yogyata and Sannidhi, a cluster of words cannot attain the status of Vakya. So, in order to get the Vakyartha, in order to cognize the sentence meaning, the knowledge of Akanksha, Yogyata, Sannidhi and Tatparya is essential. That is what Nayayikas say. Here, Abhihitanvayavadins, Prabhakaras say that Akanksha, Yogyata and Sannidhi are essential. By their presence or caused by them, these word meanings are connected. Padarthanam samanvaye. Then you get the sentence meaning which is called Tatparyartha. Actually, Prabhakaras or the Mimamsakas hold that the sentence meaning is got by Lakshana Vyapara. Here, how it is got, the sentence meaning is got, it is not said whether you get it by Tatparya Vritti or by Lakshana, it is not specified. But you get a different cognition of sentence meaning, Tatparyartha, it is entirely different. Vishesha Vapuhu. Its nature and content is entirely different from those of Padartha. Apadartha api Vakyartha samullasati. So this is the theory put forth by Abhihitanvayavadins. They, to put it simply, word meaning is something else and sentence meaning is something else. All the word meanings put together, construed together, sentence meaning is got. Here, Akanksha, Yogyata, Sannidhi, Vashat, Vakshamanat Swarupanam Padarthanam Samanvaye, Tatparyarthaha, Vishesha Vapuhu, Apadarthopi Vakyarthaha Samullasati, iti Abhihitanvayavadinam matam. Akaksha is a expectancy. If you remove a word from a sentence, expectancy remains. Ramaha vanam gacchati. Vanam gacchati, then that Rama is removed, then expectancy is there. Kaha gacchati, kaha vanam gacchati. And yogyata is compatibility. You take the sentence, stock example, Vanhina sinchati. The act of making wet. Sechana is making wet. Vanhina sinchati, this fire is an instrument. It is proposed. So, by fire, one cannot make something wet. So, the two meanings, two word meanings are incompatible. Artha, badha is there. Incompatible. So, compatibility is required. Yogyata. And sannidhi. Sannidhi is proximity. Proximity of two word meanings. Not physical proximity, not a temporal proximity, but the proximity in the cognition level, intellectual level. All these three are very much essential. When these are present, padarthanam samannvaye, these word meanings are put together and they give another meaning which is entirely different from padartha. Tapariyartha, vishesha vapuh, apadarthopi vakyartha samullasati iti abhihita anvayavadinam matam. Here, abhihita, this is the view held by abhihita anvayavadins, the plural is used. In the next sentence you see abhihitanvaya vadinaha, vadinaha mata. The sixth case of Shashti, it is singular, anvita abhidhana vadinaha. So, some people say, some commentators say that Mamada indicates that he subscribes to abhihitanvaya vada, not anvidharidhana vada. It is said. And what is anvita abhidhana vada? Anvidanam eva padarthanam abhidhanam. Anvitanam eva padarthanam abhidhanam. They say that they hold that Vakyartha is nothing but padartha. You cannot have an isolated word meaning. A word meaning can be cognized in association with the other word meanings, the meanings of other words. So, Vachya eva Vakyartha. Padartha is something, not something different from Vakyartha. Padartha is in itself verily Vakyartha. Vachya eva Vakyartha. So, iti anvita abhidhana vadinaha. This taking this as sixth case plural, anvita abhidhana vadinaha matam. Sixth case singular. People say that Mamata is not very much in approval. Sarvesham prayasorthanam vyanjakatvam apishyate. Sarvesham arthanam api prayasaha vyanjakatvam ishyate. Now, Amata says, all the meanings, all the three meanings, not all the four meanings, Vachya, Lakshya and Vyangya, or Vachya, Lakshya, yes, and Vyangya, they are Vyanjakas. They do suggest, they do have the function of Vyanjana. Sarvesham Vyanjakatvam ishyate. Sarve Vyanjakaha. Sarve Arthaha Vyanjakaha. Now, Mamada says, Artha suggests, the meaning suggests, the expressed meaning suggests. Not only the Vachyartha, the indicated meaning also, Lakshyartha also, it also suggests. And again, Vyangyartha also suggests it can become Vyanjaka. Vachyartha can become Vyanjaka, Lakshyartha can become Vyanjaka, and Vyangyartha as well can become Vyanjaka. They give another meaning, Vyangyartha, another Vyangya. Tatra Vachyasya yatha, this is a Sanskrit chaya for the Prakrita verse. Mataha गृहोपकरणमद्य खलु नास्ति इति साधितं त्वया तद्भण किं करणीयम् एवमेव न वासरः स्थायी. This is uttered by a young girl. She says to her mother, Mataha. She addresses her mother, Mataha. You have got all the commanding power. You can command me. I will act accordingly only. That is meant by the address Mataha. Grihopakaranam adya khalu nasti iti sadhitam tvaya. You yourself have established, have declared that all the household equipments are not there, vegetable is not there, fuel is not there, and provisions are not there. Tadbhana, you say, Kim Karaniyam, what to do, what I have to do? You tell me, you order me, you command me. Evam eva na vasarasthayi. The daytime, vasara, it will not stand still. Now it is afternoon, then it will become evening, then it will become motar, sandhya, then night will come. So, this is the expressed meaning. What is it? Oh mother, you yourself have said that there is no household equipments here in the house. So, what to do? You tell me, I will act. So, the vasara won't stand still. It will fade away. So, she wants to go out and wander. Swaira vihararthini iti vyajyate. This meaning, this suggested meaning, this is suggested. This is not given by any of the words. Only the expressed meaning is this meaning. So, the Vachyartha, the expressed meaning is Vyanjaka. It gives suggested meaning. So, it suggests, it has the function of suggestion here. Lakshyasya yatha sadhayanti sakhi subhavam kshane kshane dunasi matkrite sadbhava sneha karaniya sadrisham tavad virachitam tvaya. Sadhayanti sakhi subhagam kshane kshane dunasi matkrite sadbhava sneha karaniya sadrisham tavat virachitam tvaya. This is an utterance by a loving lady to her messenger or friend. She says, oh, my dear friend, you have been afflicted by agonizing pain. Duna, you are grief stricken. For whose sake? For my sake. Matkrite. What are you doing? Subhagam tam kshane kshane sadhayanti. You are mollifying, appeasing, making him happy. Whom? That handsome lover of mine. Subhagam tam kshane kshane sadhayanti tvam dunasi. Matkrite, for my sake. Sadbhava sneha karaniya sadrisham. Virachitam tvaya. You have done what is befitting for a friend, for the sadbhava and sneha of a friend, the love and the what do you call the friendship of a friend. You have been acting, you have done, you have acted. This is the utterance. Actually, from the Prakarana, here the expressed meaning is you are grief stricken for my sake, and you are grief stricken. You have done as a friend does. So, Sadbhava Sneha Karaniya Sadrisham Virachitam. Here, from the context, we know that this messenger lady has been having happy times with him, and she is gift stricken for her own sake. She is lovelorn, and not for this Nayika's sake she is Dona, but for her own sake. And she has been Sadhayanti. Sadhayanti means making him happy. Together, this lady also is having happy times. So, Matkrite is, there is a Lakshana, Viparita Lakshana, Virodha Lakshana is there. Totkrite eva donasi. Not for Matkrite, Totkrite, even for your own sake. You are grief-stricken, you are slender, you are fatigued. And Sadbhava Sneha Karaniya Sadrisham, you haven't acted as a friend, befitting for a friend. You have acted just like a foe, an enemy. So, Sadbhava Sneha Karaniya Sadrisham Virachitam, that is the expressive sense, but the indicated sense is that Lakshyartha, Lakshana is there. Indicated sense is that Sadbhava Sneha Karaniya Asadrisham or Sadbhava Sneha Karaniya Visadrisham Tavat Virachitam Tvaya. So, in the Matkrite it is there, Lakshana is there, indication is there. In the Sadrisha, indication is there, Virodha Lakshana is there. The indicated meaning gives another meaning, suggested meaning. Atra Mattiyam Ramayantya Tvaya Shatrutvam Arachitam iti Lakshyam. Tena cha Kamuka Vishayam Savaradhatva Prakashanam. Both of you have done wrong. Kamuka means Kamuki cha Kamukascha Kamukau. Tayoho Vishayaha Kamuka Vishayaha. So this is a message to both this messenger lady as well as the hero. They have done wrong. Kamuka Vishayam Sabaradhatva Prakashanam Vyangyam. So this heroine lady, lover lady is exposing the wrong done suggestively. And how does she do? And here she uses the Lakshyartha, the indicated sense, as Vyanjaka. So here the indicated sense, Lakshyartha is Vyanjaka, it suggests. So Artha is Vyanjaka here, and Artha is Lakshyartha, and the Vyangyartha is the wrong done, the exposition of wrong done. Now Vyangyartha. Pasya Nischala Nishpanda Visini Patre Rajate Balaka Nirmala Marakata Bhajana Paristhita Shankha Shakti Riva. Pasya Nischala Nishpanda Visini Patre Rajate Valaka Nirmala Marakata Bhajana Paristhita Shankha Shakti Riva. This is an utterance by a lover to her beloved, to a young man. What does she say? See, look, this bird, Balaka, the crane, shines. It happily sits there, and it is Nischala Nishpanda. It is not moving at all. Not even its limbs are throbbing. So it is not moving from some place to another place, or it is not moving its limbs, and even throbbing also is not there. Heartbeat, like throbbing like a heartbeat, the motion of limbs throbbing, nishpanda, that is also not there. So it sits very coolly, happily, without any agitation, any doubt. So it is comfortable. Where does it sit? Visini Patre, on the lotus leaf, green lotus leaf, this white Balaka bird is sitting. And it is likened to Nirmala Marakata Bhajana Paristhita Shankhashuktiriva. It is just like a this one shell, white shell, Shankhashukti, kept in a cascade box of emerald. Nirmala, it is spotless. Nirmala Marakata Bhajana Paristhita Shankhashuktiriva. Now, this is the express meaning. From this, what does this lover convey? She suggests something. By the Nishchalatva and Nishpandatva, she means that, see, this bird is purely, certainly comfortable, not at all agitated. So, this place, nobody has come, it is void of any human being, any disturbance. So, Janarahitatvam. This is, the first meaning is Ashvastatva, the comfortable nature of this comfortable state of this word Valaka. That indicated, that suggested sense suggests another meaning. What is it? So, nobody has come here, no human beings are there. So, अतः संकेतस्थानमेतद् कयाचित् कञ्चित् प्रयुज्यते अथवा मिथ्या वदसि न त्वम् अत्र आगता भूः इति व्यज्यते. From this आश्वस्तत्वा and जनरहितत्वा, another suggested sense comes. What is it? This can be our secret spot of meeting together. Can be taken as a Rangdavo, Sanketasthana. Or else, we had agreed to come here at a specified time and you have not come. Therefore, because you have not come, this bird sits coolly, comfortably, without any disturbance. It sits on the lotus leaf. So, you have not come. So, the suggested sense suggests another meaning. This Sanketasthana etat athava mithya vadase na tamatra agato bhuh, that sense, suggested sense is got from another suggested sense. So, Vyangyartha is Vyanjaka here. Now, anything, any comments, any questions before proceeding to this Sakshat Sanketitam Yortham? Sarvesham prayashaurthanam vyanjakatvam apishyate. Whether this Taparyartha is meant or Padartha is meant, at many places, Mamada's language is terse and pithy, very, very stingy in using. He is mincing in words. So, in the case of Taparyartha of Keshujit also, it is. That is why many commentaries have come. Learned people have struggled to taken pains, strains to comment upon. It is not clear. Okay. Now, Vachakadinam Kramena Swarupamaha. Mamada proceeds to define or describe the nature of the three kinds of shabdas, Vachaka, Lakshanika and Vyanjaka. Sakshat Sanketitam Yortham Abhidhatte sa Vachakaha. Saha Vachakaha Shabdaha Bhavati. That is the Vachaka word. Which one? Yaha Sanketitam Artham, the coded meaning, the meaning given by conventional code, Sanketitam Artham, Sakshat Abhidhatte, without the help of a mediation or without the hindrance of an some other thing, sakshat directly, abhidhatte puts forth. So Vachaka Shabda is that word which gives the coded meaning, the Sanketita Artha, the meaning given by the conventional code directly without the assistance of anything else or without the mediation of anything else. What is now Sanketita? Sanketita means, Sanketa means code or technique or association made by convention, a group of people or society. This word is associated with this sense, that condition, that relation between these two, that coding, that conventional coding, it is called a Sanketa, it is Samaya, it is Sanketa. And Sanketita, the coded meaning. So Vachaka Shabda is that word which gives the coded meaning directly without the help, assistance or mediation of anything else. Iha agrihitas sanketasya shabdasya arthapratitehe abhavat sanketa sahayah eva shabdah arthavishesham pratipadayati iti yasya yatra avyavadhanena sanketah grihyate sa tasya vachakaha. The first part, agrihita sanketasya shabdasya arthapratitehe abhavat. Amada clarifies the point that Sanketa is very much essential. The knowledge of Sanketa, the Sanketa Graha, the cognition, the knowledge, the understanding of Sanketa, the relation between a word and its sense, the relation, the association which is accepted by a group of people, a society, or a discipline, defined in a discipline. It should be defined, it should be specified, it should be coded. So that code, unless and until one get that, get the knowledge of, get the cognition, get the understanding, gets it, gets the Sanketa, then only he can understand the meaning. It is very clear, very simple fact. You don't know Russian language. You are listening to a conversation between two people, Russian people, they are speaking, and you are getting all the, hearing all the sounds. So, you are having Shabda Jnana, but Artha Jnana you are not having, you are unable to get the meaning. Why? Because you don't know the Sanketa, the code or the association related with each word to its sense. So, Sanketa Graha or the cognition of Sanketa, the understanding of Sanketa is very much essential. Sanketa Sahaya eva Shabdaha Artha Vishesham Pratipadayati. Therefore, Sanketa is very much essential, and this Yatra, Yasya, Yasya means Yasya Vachakasya, Yasya Shabdasya, Yatra means in which, to which meaning? Yasminna, Yatra Yasminna, Sanketah Grihyate, Yasya Shabdasya, Yasmin Arthe, Avyavadhanena Sanketah Grihyate, without Vyavadhana, without hindrance or mediation, without the assistance of anything else. Sakshat, Saha Vachakaha. Now, what is the express meaning of a word? What is the pravritti nimitta? Pravritti nimitta. Pravritti nimitta is a characteristic in the object, the knowledge of which is very much essential for somebody to use that word, particular word. For example, when somebody uses the Sanskrit word ghada to refer to pot, he should have the knowledge of Ghatatva. Yajnanam Shabda Pravrittau Nimittam Tat Pravritti Nimittam. Shabdasya Pravrittau Yajnanam Nimittam. The knowledge of Ghatatva, if he doesn't know what is Ghatatva, what is a common feature of all the Ghatas, all the pots, what is pot? He has to know. It is the some common characteristic which is present in all the pots, that he has to know. Then only he will use that particular word Ghata to refer to the pot. So Ghatatva he should know. Then only this Shabda Prayoga comes. So Yajnanam Shabda Pravritto Nimittam Tat Pravritti Nimittam. So put it in simple terms, the meaning, the expressed meaning. In Shastric terms, it is Pravritti Nimitta. So it is of four kinds. The expressed word meaning is of four kinds. Or Sanketita Artha is of four kinds. Sanketitaha Chaturbhedah. Now, actually there are 5 positions. Some people say, Mimamsakas say that jati or the universal or common feature, that is the meaning of a word. That is the expressed meaning of a word. That is the coded meaning of a word. For example, Ghatatva is the meaning. When you say Ghata, it is Ghatatva. And Nayayikas, they say that Ghatatva Visishta Ghata. So, when you say pot, this pot having all the, when you say pen, this particular pen is having the common features. So, what is meant? This particular pen is meant, but along with this particular pen, the common features, the Samanya, the Pentva. So, he refers to this as pen by knowing that this particular thing is having the common characteristics of all the pens. Ghatatva Visishta Ghata or Pentva Visishta pen or Jati Visishta Vyakti. And some people hold that there are 4 different kinds of meanings. Sanketita is Sanketitartha is 4 divisions are there. They are Jati, Guna, Kriya and Samnya. For example, a very same object, a very same person is referred to by 4 different words. For example, take my case itself. You can refer to me as a Purusha or Nara. So, what is meant? Naratva is meant, that is Jati or the common feature, it is which is there in all the Purushas or Naras. So, Naraha, by this word you can refer to Sundareshwaran. And you can refer to by another word also, Sundareshwaran by tall man, so, capable man, good teacher, like that different words. So, tall, short, bright, all these things are referring to not Jati but Guna. That which differentiates, Guna is that which differentiates a particular thing or particular group from all other similar things. When many pens are there, when you say red pen, you are excluding all the pens which are not red. So, this is Guna, this is that differentiates, that feature which differentiates all other similar things. It is Guna. So you can refer to Sundareshwara as a tall, short, bright, etc., etc. And you can refer to Sundareshwara as a leader of the workshop, or teacher, one who teaches, one who leads. So the kriya, the action that is what is meant. So the pravritti nimitta is kriya. And you can refer to Sundareswaran by the name Sundareswaran. So these four kinds of expressed meanings are there. Jati, guna, kriya, samnya, rupa, chaturbheda. This is a third position. And some people say that apoha. Actually, when you say this is pen, what do you mean is that, they say Buddhists, they say that you are just negating all the other objects. When you say this is pen, this is not pot, this is not table, this is not a man, this is not salt, this is not rock. So all the other things are apoha, the negation of everything else. So such a different stands are there, and grammarians hold this view. Chaturbheda, sanketitaha chaturbheda, jati, guna, kriya, yadricha. And Mamata subscribes to this view, and he says sanketitaha chaturbheda, jatyadihi. And immediately he says jatireva va. So jatyadihi is sanketitaha chaturbhedaha jatyadihi, that is a sentence. And jatireva va is another sentence. We shall see. We shall read out this vritti first. Yadyapi arthakriyakaritaya प्रवृत्ति निवृत्ति योग्या व्यक्तिरेव तथापि आनन्त्यात् विभिचाराच्च तत्र संकेतः कर्तुं न युज्यते इति गौः शुक्लस्थलोडित्थः इत्यादीनां शब्दानां विषयविभागो न प्राप्नोति इति उपाधावेव संकेतः उपाधिस्तद्विधः. Now I said jati, guna, kriya and yadricha. Here Bhaktikara says it is upadhi. Upadhi is classified into four: jati, guna, kriya, dravya, yadricha. And what is upadhi and what is jati? Upadhi is a dharma which is not a jati. Jati dhinnaha dharmaha upadhi. Now what is dharma? Dharma is something which has an adhara, which can be placed somewhere. Vrittimat padartha dharma. This passage we have to explain. Tomorrow we will see. It is already 8:55. Now I am stopping here. I will stop screen sharing also, and it's time for discussion. Actually, I wanted to cover this portion, entire portion. Tomorrow we will see. Tomorrow I wanted to focus on the indication, lakshana aropita kriya. Lakshana aropita kriya mukhyarthabhave tadyoge रूढ़िदोथ प्रयोजनात् अन्योर्थो लक्ष्यते यत्सा लक्षणा आरोपिता क्रिया. It is attributed function on shabda. And day after tomorrow I will focus on this one, vyanjanan napara kriya. In the case of in some cases of lakshana, the meaning which was really intended by the utterer, not the indicated meaning, not lakshyartha, some other meaning. In order to get that, vyanjana is the lone vyapara, the only vyapara. the only function, Vyanjana, Napara, Kriya, and then Arthi Vyanjana. So I am covering only first and second ullasas. By 10 hours we can only do that much. But also I am going very slowly. So this is the design. Now time for discussion. Anybody, anything? Venkat.
Yes, sir. Sir, just noticed that the vritti for the first karika, I mean, in the second ullasa, first karika, the vritti for that it has little to do with the karika. So the karika is talking about Shabda Vyapara, whereas the vritti is talking about Anvita Vidhanavada and Anvita. So
that is
have not.
In the
Acha, acha.
there it is karika and vritti, they are talking of the same thing. It is a simple explanation. Abhigita and Anvita they are explained in vritti on the karika part tatparyarthopi keshuchit.
Okay. I understand. Oh, it's only for that part we have to take.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That controversy is there, whether Vrittikara and Karikakara are one and the same. That controversy is there, but here it is very clear. If nobody is asking questions, by 2 minutes I will be just saying this, the gist of today's song in Sanskrit. अस्माभिः एतद् दृष्टमस्ति ध्वनिः गुणीभूतव्यङ्ग्यं चित्रम् इति त्रयः प्रकाराः काव्यस्य. ध्वनिकाव्यं तावत् उत्तममिति, गुणीभूतव्यङ्ग्यकाव्यम् यस्मिन् व्यङ्ग्यं गुणीभूतमस्ति तत् मध्यमं काव्यमस्ति. अण्ड् एवञ्च व्यङ्ग्यकाव्यम् अव्यङ्ग्यं स्फुटव्यङ्ग्यरहितं काव्यम् अधमकाव्यम् अपरकाव्यं तच्च शब्दचित्रम् अर्थचित्रम् इति व्यवह्रियते ममताचार्येण. अथ च द्वितीय तृतीय उल्लासयोः शब्दार्थनिरूपणं कर्तुमिष्यते आचार्येण. तत्र प्रथमं वाचकः लक्षकः व्यञ्जकश्चेति त्रिविधः शब्दः अस्मिन् अत्र काव्यलोके अस्ति. अत्र अस्मिन् उल्लासे एवं तृतीय उल्लासे च व्यञ्जनाव्यापारस्य अङ्गीकरणीयता अभ्युपगम्यता सर्वैरपि मीमांसकैः वैयाकरणैः तार्किकैः सर्वैः अङ्गीकरणीयतां स्थापयितुं समर्थयितुं भूमिका रच्यते. व्यञ्जकः अर्थः, व्यञ्जकः इति कश्चन शब्दः काव्ये अस्ति. व्यङ्ग्यः अर्थः इति लक्ष्यात् वाच्याच्च सुदूरं भिन्नः अर्थः काव्ये अस्ति इति समर्थयितुं भूमिका रच्यते. तत्र वाचकः, लाक्षणिकः, व्यञ्जकः च इति त्रिविधः त्रिप्रकारः शब्दः काव्ये लोके. तेषां क्रमेण वाच्यः, लक्ष्यः, व्यङ्ग्यः च इति त्रयः अर्थाः स्युः. तत् कथनावसरे एतत् स्पष्टयति. पदार्थ एव वाच्यार्थः इति भाटानां मतं, किन्तु वाच्यार्थः नाम वाक्यार्थः पदार्थात् भिन्नः. पदार्थानां समन्वये तात्पर्यार्थः इति पदार्थात् व्यतिरिक्तः विशिष्टः कश्चन वाक्यार्थः समुल्लसति. न केवलं काव्ये लोकेपि काव्येपि एवमेव समुल्लसति इति मीमांसकानां मतद्वयम् अत्र निरूपितं. तेन तात्पर्याख्यः इति कश्चन अपरः अर्थः अपि एतत् तृतीयात् भिन्नः, वाच्यलक्ष्यव्यङ्ग्यात् भिन्नः अर्थः अपि अस्ति इति दर्शितम्. एवमेव एते त्रयः अप्यर्थाः व्यञ्जकाः स्युः. न केवलं शब्दः व्यञ्जकः, एषा व्यञ्जनावृत्तिः, एषः व्यञ्जनव्यापारः, द्योतनव्यापारः न केवलं शब्दे किन्तु अर्थेपि अस्ति तेन अर्थः अपि व्यञ्जकतां बिभर्ति इति स्पष्टम् उक्तं, उदाहरणं च दर्शितं, सर्वेषां प्रायशोऽर्थानां व्यञ्जकत्वमपि श्रूयते इति। तदनन्तरं सङ्केतितः अर्थः, यः शब्दः सङ्केतितमर्थम् अव्यवधानेन अभिधत्ते पुरः क्षिपति, अव्यवधानेन ददाति, सः शब्दः एव वाचकः इति उक्तं। तदनन्तरं वाच्यः अर्थः, सङ्केतितः अर्थः चतुर्भेदः इति केषाञ्चन मतम् इति निरूपयितुं प्रक्रमते। चतुर्भेदः इति अस्माकं मतम् इति, वैयाकरणानां तथैव अस्माकं मतं। केचन जातिरेव सङ्केतितः अर्थः इति मीमांसकाः वदन्ति इति। एवमेव जातिविशिष्टव्यक्तिः तद्वान्, जातिविशिष्टव्यक्तिः तत् जातिः, तद्वान् जातिविशिष्टव्यक्तिः इति नैयायिकाः। एवमेव अपोहः एव वाच्यार्थः सङ्केतितार्थः इति सौगताः इति एतत् निरूपयितुं सङ्केतितश्चतुर्भेदो जात्यादर्जातिरेव वा इति अनेन कारिकांशेन प्रक्रमते आचार्यः इत्येवम् उक्त्वा विरमामि। यदि यः कश्चन प्रष्टुमिच्छति, वक्तुमिच्छति, अवकाशः अधुनाप्यस्ति, यद्यपि निमेषद्वयम् अधिकं जातं तथापि अस्ति, नो चेत् समापयामः। प्रदीपज्वालाभिः दिवसकरनीराजनविधिः सुधासुतेः चन्द्रोपलजललवैरभ्यरचना स्वकीयैरम्भोभिः सलिलनिधिसौहित्यकरणं त्वदीयाभिर्वाङ्भिः तव जननी वाचां स्तुतिरियम्।
Thank you, Sundaresh Mash.
Okay.
America is going to make money out of the war. One option.
बीचમાં આખી આવી ગઈ છે